Pierre Trudeau has just resigned, and now, September 4th, 1984, we have the Canadian election, which will be a historic one to remember. Pierre Trudeau resigned for appointing patriotic appointments, and John Turner also appointed 17 more. And this is what the debate looked like when Brian Mulroney, who's the Progressive Conservative leader, absolutely destroyed John Turner, who was the new Liberal leader.
A deep apology for having indulged in that kind of practice with those kinds of appointments.
Well, I've told you and told the Canadian people, Mr. Mulroney, that I had no option.
Well,
Chairman, your next question.
You had an option, sir. You could have said, I am not going to do it. This is wrong for Canada, and I am not going to ask Canadians to pay the price. You had an option, sir, to say no, and you chose to say yes to the old attitudes and the old stories of the Liberal Party. That, sir, if I may say respectfully, that is not good enough for Canadians.
I had no option if I was able
That
to
is an avowal of failure. That is a confession of non-leadership, and this country needs leadership. You had an option, sir. You could have done better.
John Turner thought he was being smart, scheduling the election quite soon. He didn't have to schedule it until 1985, but the Liberals were ahead in the polls, so he thought it would be a good time to schedule it now to get more seats. But then this debate happened, some polls were mismanaged, and well, yeah, the results weren't good for the Liberals. But what they didn't know is that the Pope and Queen Elizabeth would both be touring Canada, and many people didn't even know who John Turner was, so that took the momentum away from the Liberal Party and put them into Queen Elizabeth and the Pope as they were visiting Canada. Well, now let's see how the election turned out. Hour 1 of the election, Atlantic Canada polls close, and it's not looking good for the Liberals, with the PC, Progressive Conservatives, gaining lots of ridings from Atlantic Canada. Hour 1, Brian Mulroney and the Conservatives sweep up Atlantic Canada and take Liberal strongholds. Hour 2, the Conservatives sweep through Quebec. Hour 3, Ontario's Liberals collapse, and the Progressive Conservatives pick up seats that have been red for decades. Hour 4, Western Canada polls starts to close with a historic landslide for Brian Mulroney. Midnight, polls are shut across most of the country, and it has been confirmed Brian Mulroney has got a super historical massive landslide, the biggest in Canadian history, 212 seats, with over 1 in 2 Canadians voting for him. His landslide record is still not beaten, even to this day.